Ute and Pueblo artists living within Arizona, Utah, Colorado, and New Mexico. Tune in every third Thursday of the month at 9:30 a.m. or find podcast episodes. Native Art Voices of the Four Corners, great artist stories are the journey of art in the Four Corners.
Ten minutes past 8 o'clock. It is Thursday morning, the 23rd day of January 2025. Good morning, everyone. I'm Scott Micklin, and thanks for tuning in to KSJE 90.9 FM over the air right here in San Juan County, New Mexico. If you're listening in Durango, Colorado, your radio is set to 103.3 FM. And if you're listening anywhere else on the planet, you're probably doing that from our website, KSJE.com. I also want to welcome our viewers this morning. The video of this program is streaming out live to the KSJE Facebook page and also to our YouTube channel. So welcome aboard, everyone. So glad that you're with me this morning. Coming up in the next few moments, my guest today from the San Juan County Partnership will be talking about all of the different programs and events that the partnership does in our community. Amanda Evans is my guest. She'll be here with us in just the next few moments here on KSJE today. Later on this hour, stay tuned because we'll be sharing information about this year's Night to Shine event put on by the Tim Tebow Foundation here in Farmington. Details about that coming up 8:50 a.m. this morning on KSJE. Don't forget, Mick Hess is going to take us roving with the arts, our weekday classical music program. And if you'd like to connect with us on X or Instagram, we are there as well. And if you're a podcast person, you can subscribe for free and download and listen to KSJE podcasts. They're available at places where you're already listening to podcasts. So check them out and discover a new program that you may have missed recently. Outside our studios here at San Juan College, it is currently all of 7 degrees at the moment. It is another cold morning here in the Four Corners. We're expecting sunshine today, but still pretty cold temperatures. Take a look. 30 degrees for a high in Farmington today. Another cold night tonight with a low near 9. Slowly warming up, though, with a high of 37 tomorrow, 48 by Saturday, 47 by Sunday, and Monday topping out at 51 degrees. Overnight lows, as you can see, warming up to almost 30 degrees by Saturday night, mid-20s elsewhere, and then maybe it's a chance of snow coming in next week on Tuesday and Wednesday, so we'll keep an eye on that. I'll be back with my guest with more right after this on KSJE. KSJE is supported by San Juan Regional Medical Center. The most important ingredients to sustaining health and wellness are the resources and tools that help you live a vibrant and healthy life. At San Juan Regional Medical Center, the goal is to promote health by making sure those resources are available. Find the path to the best life at lifebetterhere.com. San Juan Regional Medical Center. Better is our mission, improving lives through personalized health and care. Back at Studio A with me this morning, as I mentioned, my guest today from the San Juan County Partnership, Amanda Evans, is here with us this morning from the Partnership. Happy New Year and welcome back to KSJE.
Happy New Year. It's great to be here.
Good to see you. And today we're kind of getting a little update, I guess, on all the things the Partnership does in the community, right?
We have so much going on. We have an event coming up in February and
That's right.
More to come for the whole year.
Okay, very good. Well, let's talk about some of those things. The February event is a big one, isn't it?
Yes.
One of your bigger ones.
Our second annual Healthy Living Expo. It is sponsored by the Partnership, by the Health Council, and by San Juan Regional Medical Center.
Nice. Very good. And so kind of like a health fair.
Yes.
And free.
Yes,
for people to event?
Booths and community members. It's
okay.
free.
And you're still looking for folks for booths? You still got space?
Yes,
a little bit?
we do. Last year we had right over 50 booths. We're shooting for 75 this year. We're right at 50, so we've still got about 20 spots to fill. And so we are looking for some diversity too. It's not just a health fair. That's why we call it an expo. So we would love medical, dental, orthodontics, things like that. But we would also love people who have hobbies. Last year we had somebody who did pottery, brought their wheel and demonstrated pottery.
Cool.
So it's, we had a jewelry lady last year that taught about kind of accessorizing and making yourself feel good like that. So we've got a lot of different stuff, and we want to have even more.
Okay, so it sounds to me like any business, any hobby, anything that you can maybe draw a line to healthy living would count.
Yes.
Would get you in the door.
Yep. We have outdoor. We have a spa group or a spa company that comes and brings some spas, because that's definitely something that can help you relax after a
No
stressful
kidding.
day.
No kidding.
So we have again the bike track that we had last year for the kids to do. We just have a lot going on, and
Nice.
would love to have even more.
Okay, very good. The date again is February 22nd.
Yes.
Out at McGee Park.
Yes.
So you've got lots of room, which is why you have all this space for people to have a
Yep.
booth for free. 10 to 3. And again, on the screen right now is a website and a QR code that you can point your phone at and get signed up.
Yes, and we are wanting people to get signed up pretty quickly for the booth space, just because we are doing the layout and everything. But yeah, we're looking for people who can do booths, and then just put it on your calendar to come out and see what all is out there. We have a group coming that I believe it's I don't remember the title, sorry, that NMSU set up for concessions. So we will
Okay.
have food for lunch too that you can purchase, and that supports a youth program here in the community.
Nice.
And so we're going to have just some fun time.
Very good. Looking forward to it. And I think we can tell the audience that we'll be talking more about this event in a couple weeks.
Yes, we will be. I will be back with my Rick Griffith. He is our chair for the Health Council.
The Health Council. Right.
He is the one setting up concessions. That's why I sounded a little like.
Well, he'll tell us what it's all
yes,
about.
He,
Yes.
he is the expert on all of it. So
Right.
we'll be back with even more. And we'll
Got
have
it.
a list of the booths and things like that.
Very
soon.
cool. Okay, sounds great. In the meantime, though, the partnership is busy with a bunch of other things, too,
Right.
with the demonstrations and the presentations that you all make throughout the county each and every year.
Yes, so we work with a lot of different groups, youth groups, school groups. We have a wide variety of presentations that we can come do for different ages, and not everybody knows that. So we have like a list of just about any substance you are seeing an issue in our community. We have a presentation on. We have one on alcohol in youth. My coworker Julie does vaping in youth.
Right.
We have Narcan trainings for professionals, maybe, or community members. We hand out Narcan. We do stigma presentations around the stigma associated with maybe having a substance use disorder. So we have a wide variety of stuff that we offer the community that we can come out and do for your organization, for your group. If you work in the schools, we come out and do those for classes. We always have something going on, and what's really helpful is we can customize those to fit what age you're looking at and what
Right.
group you want us to present to.
Got you. And I guess you could also customize by time, too. I guess if someone
Yes.
says, hey, we need you to come and we've got 30 minutes or we got 50 minutes, you could make it fit.
Yeah, we do that all the time, because it really, like, I have been doing this long enough, I can fill any space you want me to, but I can also be concise.
Case in point this morning.
Exactly. But I can also be concise and actually just get to the point too. So, yeah, we can fill, most of our presentations, kind of the minimum is 20 minutes, because
Yeah.
we do have some tough topics sometimes, and so we always want to do them justice.
Sure.
But we can customize pretty much from about 20 minutes up to an hour, hour and a half if we need to.
Nice. So I would say it sounds like to me like for service groups, school groups you mentioned, maybe some of the private school groups, things like that. If there's homeschool groups, maybe that you can get a bunch of folks together, that may be something. Is that
Yeah, we
all
would love
possibilities?
to do that. In pretty much anything, parents, if you have a parenting group you want us to come talk to about maybe how to talk to your kids about those tough topics like tobacco or alcohol or vaping, especially, is one that we haven't really had a lot of conversations about yet. We've heard for years that tobacco is bad for you, but vaping is one that, comes and goes of whether it's bad or good. We don't have a lot of studies yet, but we do have some information on what's in it, and Julie does a wonderful job of being able to present that and even show parents, if it's like a adult presentation, on what to look for, some signs that your child might be vaping, or vaping devices have gotten really tricky. They look like things you might not think of. So,
Right. So this can help identify that too, right?
Right.
And that's really interesting. And I know that one thing too, and regular viewers and listeners of this program will realize that we always talk about the local data that the San Juan County Partnership
Yes.
uses in all of these presentations, which I think is really interesting, sobering, shocking. In some cases, it just, you never know what you're getting. But it is local data that you're able to compile and look at, and then share with the community about, like, how many kids are vaping, do we think, or how young age group kids are vaping, do we know? And we know that because you guys go out and do part of the legwork to get some of those responses back, right?
Yeah, that's a huge part of what we do, and that's something we can come do, is just do a data presentation. We just finished our needs assessment, so we do that every 4 years. We kind of had a lower one in 2020 because it was 2020.
2020, yeah.
And that's all you got to say about that. But we just did a really extensive one last year, and it just came out in November. I think we got our finalized version. So we've been doing presentations with some of the local governments,
Right.
some of our other agencies in the community. So
We did a whole show on that, by the
Yep.
way, listeners and viewers. I just want you to know, if you want more information, you can search for that on our YouTube channel or Facebook page and see the presentation. We shared some of the pages out of the needs assessment during that conversation with your CEO. So
Yeah, that's why we love coming here every month, because you help us get the word out about all this
Right.
stuff. So
it was really interesting, is the other thing too, and you've been able to track it as well by doing this needs assessments for so long. Every 4 years, you can kind of ask the same question and then see how that answer has changed over time or not.
yeah, and that's one of the things, some of the top answers that we got this year were much different than we've had in year past.
Right.
I won't say they were all different, because we have some of the same trends going through, but we definitely had some new stuff kind of float to the top, and some of that's because of the changing landscape of the community and the world in general since the last few years. And so we definitely saw a lot of kind of a little movement in different categories. And what I really loved about this one is we had a lot more kind of not community input, because we've always done that, but there's several sections that list out actual comments from community members and give some thoughts directly from the people who filled out the survey. And so that can be really helpful if you're an organization in the community that's looking for, like, well, what kind of programs should I do if I have funding? And this gives some options.
Right, very true. Speaking of funding, I want to talk a little bit about that too, because the San Juan County Partnership is funded primarily with grant monies, is it not?
Yes.
The case, right? And so you are busy, you and the staff of the San Juan County Partnership are busy putting these programs together, following the directives of these grants that you receive, and then also reporting back on your efforts and how you spent that money, how you use that money in the community. And usually the common thread is prevention.
Yes, so I'm the director of prevention programming, so I work on like 8 different prevention grants, and then we have other staff that work, on 1 or 2 grants within our prevention. We do have another side of the partnership that's housing. They come sometimes
Sure.
and talk about their stuff. We have some other harm reduction programs, and prevention and harm reduction kind of go hand in hand, but can be slightly different. So yeah, most of the partnership really was started as a prevention organization in the 1990s. And so we still hold a lot of prevention grants, and that's really a focus. That's why we go out and do these presentations I was talking about, is really prevention is about talking to youth and adults before they start some of these bad behaviors, because we know the longer we can delay youth use, the less likely they are to have problems as adults. So, with alcohol use, we know the younger they start, if they start before about the age of 13, we know they're going to have a much harder time later in life. They're more likely to be have alcohol issues. And so we want to make sure, even delaying that a few years can make a huge difference.
Right, very true. And so that's part of it. And I guess shout out too to the school districts that do set aside class time to allow the partnership to come into the schools or put an assembly together for certain grade levels or things like that, right, to help you get that message out to these younger students in these early grades.
Yeah, and the school districts have been wonderful. For years, they've worked with us, which is actually great because we used to do a ton of alcohol presentations in the schools, and we've actually seen a decrease in youth alcohol use through some of that data that we do. And now, a huge topic for them was vaping. They kept coming to us saying, we need information on vaping. That's what we're seeing over and over again with our students. We had one nurse come to us and say, I had to deal with a third grader with a vape device. So we put together, Julie did great research. We put together a really evidence-based program that we can go in and do. And I believe she's been in every district in the county, multiple schools, does it multiple times per year with different ages. So yeah, the schools have been wonderful to work with.
Wonderful. Very good. Good to know. And the other thing, too, is some of the other training about opioid abuse and problems with that. We've talked about that on this program before as well, but I think the partnership's been pretty much out there trying to train the trainer and things like that when talking about Narcan. And the other name that escapes me.
Naloxone.
That's the one. Same thing,
Yes.
different names
Yes.
that do the same thing, which is if someone's having an overdose, it can help them stabilize their condition, kind of thing, right? Until help can get there. But a lot of that training has been from the partnership as well, at least as I recall.
Yes, we have done, we've had several prevention grants around opioid use. It's been a big topic across the nation in the last few years, so the state has gotten money. We actually are just starting a brand new grant this month on providing some more Narcan trainings because one of our funding sources had run out. So we're looking at doing another Train the Trainer sometime this spring. And so that will help organizations to be able to train their staff on using Narcan. So they don't always have to come to us, but they always can come to us.
Sure.
Just to make it easy. And so, yes, we will be offering more even presentations. So naloxone is the generic. I say it's kind of like ibuprofen versus Advil.
Thank you. Yeah.
Advil is the kind of brand name.
Sure.
So Narcan is the brand name, naloxone is the generic. And now, you can get Narcan on like Target, Walmart. It's over the counter now. But there is a cost to that. If you come to the partnership, we can give it out for free. We just have a small questionnaire that we have to ask and get some information. And then we can train on it too. So
Right.
yeah, that's, Narcan is a wonderful drug because it has no negative side effects to if someone is down and you don't know if they're having an opioid overdose or not. If you give that to them, you are not going to cause them any problems if they're not having
Right.
one. But it can save a life if they are.
Right, if they are having that. And so that's an important distinction. And so, again, the partnership has been really out front, I think, in providing some of this training and certainly some of the community awareness of the problem of opioid addiction and overdoses, and then the training on this Narcan and getting it out into the community to be administered in times of an emergency.
Yeah,
That's really
and that's
important.
really, Narcan is a great example of the difference between like prevention and harm reduction, because harm reduction is really about saving lives maybe after somebody's already using, while prevention is trying to keep people from starting use in
Sure.
the first place. And so harm reduction is really about, yes, the ideal option, kind of the ideal scenario is where we get somebody in treatment before they overdose, but that's not always how the real world works. And so the most important thing is keeping them alive and making sure they have the option the next time to get treatment.
Right, which is part of your goals as well.
Yes.
And so that's an important thing. Excuse me, my guest this morning is Amanda Evans. She is here from the San Juan County Partnership. We are talking about all the different programs and presentations that the partnership does each and every year, and we've been kind of bouncing around to a lot of different things, but I'm sure I've left some things out. What are some of the other things that we want to mention this morning that the partnership does in the community?
Well, one thing, so every other year we do the Creating Cultural Harmony Conference.
That's right.
So this is a planning year for us. So next year, we just had one last year. We'll have one in 2026. So they're on even years. And so we're going to be doing some planning, some reshaping of what that even looks like, trying to get make it more appealing to even a broader audience. But also it's really a community service to some of our social work, to some of our providers in the community, because it provides cultural CEUs that they need. Those can sometimes be harder to get than just regular CEUs, and so we want to make
Those are continuing education
Yes.
units or something, right?
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
Different. They have different names depending on what
Sure.
kind of what you're doing, CMEs, CEUs. Yeah, we use a lot of jargon in this
That's okay.
world, and
That's
I
all right.
sometimes forget about
But a
it.
conference like this is still a great place to get them, is the point.
Yes. We offer them for a minimal fee, basically just to help us keep the conference going. And so we really want to make even it more appealing to even people who might not need CEUs, who just want to get a way to really look at some of the cultural topics that are going on in our community
Sure.
in a positive way.
Right. Well, and we live in such a culturally rich area. It's always great to celebrate those different cultures that come together here and to learn about them and share. And that's what the conference has done for all of its years that I can remember.
Yeah, we've been doing it. I do not know off the top of my head. I think we're in like 21, 22, somewhere in there. And so, yeah, we're really excited. We're going to be reaching out to some organizations looking for sponsorships to try to keep costs down, because we know costs rising. We want to make it as cheap and as easy for the people who need those CEUs to be able to come get them. So we're going to look for some sponsorships this year, some new speakers maybe. We'll be reaching out to some people. So this is a planning year, so you may hear more about it.
Great. Very good. Well, stay tuned, everyone. As we say in the radio business, that's coming in 2026. And but this year is the Health Expo that we've
Yep.
talked about, right? That's one of your big events for this year.
Yes.
And then, of course, the ongoing efforts of some of the demonstrations and presentations throughout the community that you all do.
Yeah, we're really trying to make the Health Expo a yearly event. So we did one last January. Due to scheduling stuff with
Right.
Yuki Park, we had to move it into February, but we still hope maybe that's better, because we know this weekend we were looking at this weekend, and it's going to be a cold one. So
Yeah,
maybe by
right.
February we'll have a
Maybe
little
it'll warm
warmer.
up.
Maybe.
Maybe.
We can hope. But,
That's right.
yeah.
Well, in February may be a good time that maybe our resolutions from New Year's are kind of fading out, and it might be a good way to re-energize ourselves to get healthy and stick with those.
That's what we're hoping. A lot of people, some of the studies have shown that most people give up their resolutions by the end of January. So maybe by February, in February 22nd, they'll be ready to get back on the bandwagon and get back to the gym if they've quit already, or find some other healthy options.
There you go. I mean, if they bought the year membership, they should show back up.
I know.
Just keep going. So there you are. Very good. Anything else to add before we're getting short on time, but we still have a few minutes left?
Well, and you can always find out. I'm sure I've missed something because the partnership does so much. But so we have a great website, sjcpartnership.org, that you can go to find out about the partnership in general. It has our different programs, contact information for all of our staff. We also have San Juan County data. And so you can go on there and it links to that. So if you just remember sjcpartnership.org, you can get to all of our different stuff.
There you go. And the data website for a little data geek like me is really interesting to kind of go in and see some of this local data that we're talking about that you get from local individuals and groups and things like that you pull from that needs assessment and other places too.
Yeah, we're actually getting ready to do our community survey, that's actually a statewide survey that we just partner with. We don't have too much control over that one, but we do help get the word out about it and try to get people's responses. And so that one's really focused on substance use issues, but really helps with the funding through the whole state on getting New Mexico more funding around substance use stuff. So that will be coming out, I believe it's usually like sometime in early March.
Very good. And just an aside, something that just popped into my head is the legislative session is happening right now for 60 days. Are there any pieces of legislation that you are watching or the partnership is watching? I think to me, it seems that we've seen a bigger focus on mental health in the state and mental health services in the community, and it seems like the state is willing to maybe spend some money in that area. But is there anything more specific that the partnership is hearing about from Santa Fe, or maybe too soon to tell?
Well, that is not my specialty, so I won't go too far. But I will say one of the things that we always are looking at is the funding for the Health Council, which is who helps put on the Health Expo, and that funding is actually through the budget for Department of Health, and to help work with them and help advertise some of their programs and things like that. So we are always, advocating for people in the political world to really understand how much these local programs like the Health Council, like some of the partnership stuff, how much those affect our local communities and how important that funding is to us.
Right. Very good. Well, and I think just showing them a couple of these programs can help a little bit as well, because as you have told me in the past too, not every county in New Mexico has both a health department but they all have health councils. I think that's the breakdown, is it not?
Yes, we actually have more health councils than just county, because every county has some form. They all look different because they're very community focused. All of them have something, and also we have tribal health councils. So those are really focused on local issues within their own tribes. But almost all of those work with Department of Health to really kind of bridge that gap that we may have between state programs at Department of Health level and local ones.
Gotcha. Very good. Well, Amanda, it's always great to have you here and to learn about the partnership and the work that you all do each and every day in our community, you and your staff, which may be getting a little bigger.
Yes, we are going to, we are going to be hiring a new preventionist.
Yeah.
As I said, I work on 8 grants or 7. We work on a lot, and we have other staff members that are kind of getting spread thin. So we are going to be hiring a new person. We're working on the job description right now. So probably within the next couple weeks, you can check our website, or Indeed is where we usually post it, I believe. And so that is going to be a person that helps do these presentations in the community, that goes to community meetings. They're going to be working with an alcohol prevention program out in Shiprock. We're going to just be doing a big focus on community outreach, and that person's going to be a big part of that.
Great. Very good. Well, we hope you'll come and share with us what they're doing, or maybe bring them with you.
We will. I'll get them started right away.
There you go. Very good. Excellent. Well, Amanda, thanks for coming in. Great to see you, and we'll see you back here in a couple of weeks wearing your Health Council hat.
Yes.
Okay. Sounds great.
Thank you.
Amanda Evans, my guest this morning from the San Juan County Partnership here on KSJE. KSJE and the San Juan College Native American Center present the Student Study Tip of the Week.
Hello and good day to you all. My name is Emin Chi, and I'm bringing you from the Native American Center San Juan College Coaching Tips of the Week. Organization is key. First and foremost, make sure you get a college planner. This can be a planner with a creative design, a plain notebook, a wall calendar, or even a small dry eraser calendar for your desk that changes each month. A wall calendar or desk calendar is best for double checking appointments, events, and due dates, while a notebook planner of some sort will be best for planning on the go wherever you are. This planner will keep you in check when you're in class or in a meeting with your advisor. If digital works better for you, since you can sync it with just about anything, your computer, phone, or tablet, think about setting up an agenda on your mobile device. You can also set up reminders for test dates, department events, study times, and assignment due dates.
The Student Study Tip of the Week is presented by the San Juan College Native American Center and KSJE.